Welcome to the Top Business Leaders Show, powered by Rise 25 Media. We feature top founders, executives, and business leaders from all over the world.
Chad Franzen here, co-host for this show where we feature top restaurateurs, investors, and business leaders. This is part of our SpotOn Series. SpotOn has the best-in-class payment platform for retail, and they have a flagship solution called SpotOn Restaurant, where they combine marketing, software, and payments all in one. They've served everyone from larger chains like Dairy Queen and Subway to small mom and pop restaurants. To learn more, go to spoton.com. This episode is brought to you by Rise 25. We help B2B businesses to get ROI, clients, referrals, and strategic partnerships through Done For You podcasts. If you have a B2B business and want to build great relationships with clients, referral partners, and thought leaders in your space, there's no better way to do it than through podcasts and content marketing. To learn more, go to rise25media.com or email us at support@rise25media.com. Jim Kaa is president and CEO at Pollys Pies, which has been in business in Los Angeles, and Orange, and Riverside counties for over 50 years. Jim is a battle-hardened restaurant executive with almost 40 years in the industry. He has been a key member in the management teams that grew Bubba Gump and Veggie Grill. He possesses an in-depth knowledge of the people, systems, and information needed to run a restaurant company today. Jim, thanks so much for joining me today. How are you?
Good morning, Chad. Great to be here. I'm doing well, thanks.
Hey, so you have a bachelor's in accounting from Cal State Long Beach. How did you get started in the restaurant industry?
Well, my very first food service job was at Hoag Hospital in Newport Beach. My father was an administrator there, and like many kids, you get jobs through your family, uncle, and I worked in the kitchen from I was 16 till I was 18. Later, when I was going to college at Long Beach State, again, I was getting a degree in accounting, and back in the dark ages, you actually looked in a newspaper for one ads for a job, pre-internet world. And there was an ad for a part-time bookkeeper at a restaurant in Newport Beach, the Rusty Pelican. And I thought, well, a bookkeeping would make a lot of sense by getting a degree in accounting. And I started doing the books every weekend at Rusty Pelican while I finished my degree. And the smell of fresh coffee, fresh cream, and just the energy and people of the restaurant business immediately attracted me to it. And basically, when I graduated, I sort of stumbled into a job at the corporate office. The company had gone public in 1983 in the fall. And when I graduated that December, the next year in February, I was basically working as a staff accountant full time at Rusty Pelican. So that was how I got started.
Okay. Have you veered away from the restaurant industry at all in your accounting career?
No, I have done finance and accounting for restaurant companies my entire business career. It's kind of too late for me to change at this point.
Sure.
I probably could do retail, but that's the only. And but I would tell anybody the energy, and again, I love hospitality. In the end, it's making people happy. So even though I'm in the finance and accounting and admin arm, it's the joy and fun of being in the restaurants that really makes it fun for me.
So you didn't really, when you were pursuing the degree, when you decided I'm going to pursue an accounting degree, the restaurant industry wasn't really in your thought process at that time.
No, and interestingly enough, I mentor accounting students at Cal State Long Beach, my alma mater. I've been doing it for about 4 years now. And I try to tell people the restaurant industry is not just for something you do while you're in college or before you go on your career. It's a real career. And it's that getting people to think about it. It's a different business. You're going to work on weekends. You're going to work on holidays, but you're going to be off during the week and everyone else is working. So and it allows you, for young people, especially for growing restaurant companies. When I worked for Bubba Gump, we were opening restaurants in Asia, in Japan as franchisees. And our training team members were going to those openings. So if you're 22 years old and not many responsibilities, and you want to travel the world, opening restaurants can do that. But no, I was just getting a degree in accounting, so my father would let me live at home while I played in a band because I was going to be a rock star. But that didn't turn out exactly as I planned. The fallback plan of getting the degree and a real job worked out pretty good in the end.
What were you going to do in the band?
I play guitar. So.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
What would you say characterizes people whose careers have been in the restaurant industry?
High energy for sure. It's a very high energy business. That willingness to serve, that hospitality, you want to make people happy. To me, it's like being a party host. A general manager of a restaurant, especially a sit-down restaurant, on Friday night, if they've staffed their restaurant well, they're prepared for the night. You're really like the maitre d' or party host, just greeting people, looking for bottlenecks and trying to resolve them. So I think it's the people for me and the energy that really make it fun. It is a hard business. It has thin margins. It can be very challenging. but it has great rewards. And again, I think it's the people for me that make it special.
As someone with a background in accounting and finance, does the restaurant industry require a different approach in those respects than another industry might?
Yeah, I mean, I guess in an industry like software, a lot of it has to do with selling software in the future and things like that. In the restaurant business, you're selling today to the that sandwich, salad, omelet, whatever the case is, going out right now. So it's a very transaction heavy business. It's not so much complicated accounting. The things that make the restaurant business more challenging is there's a lot of granular information, menu mix information, what you're selling and what kind of gross margin those products are producing is really a key to understanding our business. So it is fundamental accounting, but really just viewed the way anyone would look at their cost of goods sold. But in our business, that's obviously food and packaging primarily.
How much back and forth is there? Maybe you have a passionate chef who has great great recipe ideas, but the data indicates that maybe that's not that profitable. How much kind of tension is there in that respect?
I mean, I think I haven't worked in an individual chef-driven restaurant, but the best chef restaurateurs are the people who understand the business too. Unfortunately, the number of people in life who've gone, wow, my mom's a great cook. We're going to open a restaurant, but have no idea about, well, how many seats do I have? How many meals a day do I need to serve? At what average check to pay my rent? That's a calculation that every restaurateur, but there is tension because sometimes you also have products that maybe don't sell that great and don't have a fantastic margin, but they round out your menu properly. So lobster is a great example of something that has a high food cost, but you make a lot of dollars on. Whereas something like a soft drink that a fast food restaurant sells you, when you're getting the dollar burrito and soft drink, it's the soft drink that's making all the money for them. The burrito's probably a break even, if you will. But that cup and that soda cost them 20 cents. You just paid $1.75. That's the $1.50 margin they made at lunch. So I guess it's understanding the details of that business, but again, a good shit, your pride will only get you so far. If you're not selling it or it isn't making any money, that's not. And honestly, if you want to watch what sells and what doesn't, stand at the dish station in a busy restaurant and see what comes back uneaten. We had a dish in one restaurant that was a spinach side dish and no one ate it. Tasted great, but no one ate it. So you learn quickly the masses didn't want a spinach side dish, is what it came down to.
Tell me a little bit about Pollys Pies.
Interestingly enough, it's still owned by the two brothers, Eddie and Don Sheldrake, who founded it in the 60s. They were originally KFC franchisees. In fact, we still own and operate 10 KFCs in addition to our 14 Pollys Pies. And Eddie, the founder, when he opened the KFCs, was enjoying it. And then said, wait a minute, why am I paying all these royalties and advertising fees to someone else? I'm going to start my own restaurant. So they opened in Fullerton, and the restaurant, actually, our third restaurant, Atlantic, it's its 50-year anniversary coming up here. We're trying to have a 50-year anniversary celebration, but the various variants have been, every time we try to plan something, we seem to have a Omicron type event that postpones it. And we operate breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Our busiest day part is breakfast. We're really well known for our giant cinnamon rolls and pancakes. But we sell a great deal of pies and baked goods. We have fresh baked bread in every store every day, wheat bread, sourdough, rye, which is really fantastic, cinnamon rolls, cookies. So, we're working under the name Pollys Restaurant and Bakery. While we're not a full service bakery where you can come in and order a cake with a picture of your face on it, we do provide a variety of fresh baked goods available every day.
When you say breakfast, lunch, and dinner, do you have time periods designated for those meals?
More or less. I mean, we serve some breakfast products all day long, but because the change you need to make on your cook's line, you really have a breakfast period that runs roughly open, which can be 7 or 8 a.m. depending on the store, till about 11, and then lunch will run 11 to 4, and dinner after that. We're looking to go to a brunch menu on the weekends, actually, where we have one menu basically from open till about 3:30, and then change to the dinner menu. When I started in this business 40 years ago, the labor pool here in California was deep and not that expensive. And now the labor pool is not only shallow, it seems to be empty some days and very expensive. So how you operate in today's world is a little different than how you did, 20, 30. And, the employee shortage was very tough even a year and a half ago, but honestly, over the last 90 days, it's been as tough as I've ever seen it in my career.
Is there a reason why you would differentiate between lunch and dinner? I know that's kind of unique compared to some restaurants I've been to.
If you were to look at our menu, again, lunch tends to be more sandwiches, salad, soup, stuff like that. And dinner for us, we have items like Salisbury steak and chicken pie dinner. We just rolled out a new lasagna and meatloaf. We're very much, American comfort food. So we're trying to really create some new menu items that are more interesting at dinner. Dinner's our slowest day part. And so we want to, for whatever reason in the restaurant business, a lot of people who use a restaurant for breakfast don't go to that same restaurant for dinner. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Our challenge is we have people who buy pies from us at Thanksgiving and Christmas, but don't really use us as a restaurant during the year. So how do we convert some of those people to diners? So really it's trying to look at our customer base, see on Saturday and Sunday at breakfast, we have a line out the door. Not that we want to diminish that demand, but I can't, we're doing almost maximum. If we had more servers, it would be a little bit better, but we're really busy then. We're not as busy at dinner. So right now we're trying to, how do we get people to know we have new beer and wine? We've remodeled our stores, and we're in the process of doing that, but making dinner a more viable day part for our company.
How are your current responsibilities as CEO different from maybe jobs you've had in the past where you were vice president for accounting at the Veggie Grill or director of finance and administration for Bubba Gump?
I was the CFO here at Pollys for about 4.5 years before I took over. Two things. It never ends. You're on 24/7, which comes with the territory. You certainly understand that. For me, the biggest challenge is in a vice president role or CFO role, there's times where I'm, not in a marketing meeting or maybe not in a menu development meeting because I'm not part. I can be in that side, but I'm not always in. So there'd be times where I'd have, hours, if you will, to work on financial modeling and specific to me. As the CEO, my day is more spent making sure my key people are all doing. I know they're doing what they're supposed to do, but working with them to help if my vice president of operations, my director of HR, director of IT, et cetera, are all driving the company forward based on shared goals and visions, and they're successful, I'm going to be super successful. So I spend most of my day working with the people in the company, helping them make decisions, supporting them. And so many days it's 4 or 5 o'clock when I think, well, I'm getting to my work now, if you will, the stuff I need to do for my own job for the day. So it's keeping that energy up 24/7 for all your people you can't let down because you can't let them down. And so I think that's the biggest challenge I found is, grinding accounting till 11 at night by yourself is hard, but that's a different kind of hard. Staying motivated to go from a marketing meeting to a construction meeting to a uniform meeting in that minutia you need to, and you have to take the energy to really, when you go to a meeting, if you're not going to think about what you want to get out of it, what the results should be, have a to-do list that comes out of it. Sometimes you meet to just think about ideas, but if you're trying to get somewhere, you need to have a productive meeting and put time and thought into that. That takes energy. And, I find myself sometimes, my brain's shot at the end of the day. I've given all I can give. Sort of thing. But that, I think, is the biggest challenge, that you are trying to keep the entire company marching to that beat and it's a lot about is people understanding those shared goals and priorities. We had a staff meeting recently. Our fiscal year starts in November, pardon me, about what we want to try to do during this fiscal year and our goals of remodeling stores and leveraging technology, along with menu development, et cetera. That's really the key, and that everyone's, again, marching towards the same goal in the end.
Have you found that your attitude or demeanor or the kind of the tone you set, even maybe in an office environment, can trickle down to people, people washing dishes or whatever at the restaurant, part-time employees?
It's interesting you say that. I never realized that I'm an outgoing person. My mother was the kind of person who knew everybody on the street, and I inherited her gene of being a friendly, outgoing person. And because of that, I love being in the restaurants. So for me, it's, I don't know how to say it. It's really easy to stay motivated. On the day before Thanksgiving, when we're really, really busy, I went to 8 of our 14 stores, basically just showed up to say hi. And the managers, employees, I'm just a regular guy from the neighborhood, if you will. And so when they are excited to see me and happy to see me and happy that I came to visit them, that makes the grind part of our job so worth it. And I've also learned that in the office here, if I'm going to be down, the hand wringing meeting, the sky's falling, everyone's going to feel that and feel that same thing. It's like traveling when you're kids, and they're like, is the plane going to be on time? Sure, it's going to be on time. I'm telling them, knowing full well, probably not going to be on time, but I don't want the kids to worry. So it absolutely, I need to set the tone, both from being not, it's easy to get frustrated and angry. Sometimes I have to go close my door and kind of let my anger temper, if you will, because you're frustrated. And I don't want to take that frustration out on employees, but it really is really important to that shared message and goal, whether it's a dishwasher, a manager, someone in our office here, because they do look to you. And if you are showing, oh my God, this isn't going to work, they're going to feel that. But on the flip side, you have to be, you can't be falsely confident either. You need to do the diligence and the work to have that confidence. I've worked with some great people in my career. Scott Barnett, who ran Bubba Gump, Greg Dollarhide, who ran Veggie Grill, and been exposed to many, many other, executives and bankers or really smart people. And having watched them work and learned from them and watched them in crisis mode, whether it was 9/11, Katrina, when it hit the Bubba Gump in New Orleans, when you're watching your store, not get destroyed, but get damaged on TV and there's nothing you can do, that's a painful thing to be in. And all you can do is say, hey, we're going to be back. We're going to open, which we did for Bubba Gump, et cetera. And so it is really, really important how you set the tone for everybody you talk to. And again, I'll talk to everybody. I'll shake the dishwasher's hand. I'll shake the server's hand. If you're not going to do that as the president, then you're not in the right business, in our business, the way I look at it.
When you think about your observations of those other people you worked with working in crisis, are there kinds of examples that you can think of, like yeah, that's how I would like to do it if I were in that situation?
Exactly. I mean, the hard thing for all of this is what we control and what we can't control. We've been hit hard by Omicron these last 3 weeks or so, and I don't think we've had every store open for every day part. Some store days we've had to close to have takeout only. Some days we've had to close for dinner. And it's very frustrating. But yet I can't do anything about it, really. I want our employees to be healthy. I want our guests to be healthy. So all we can do is sort of wait it out and hope it passes quickly to get back to a normal, again, 2 weeks after Thanksgiving, I was thinking, okay, we're as close to normal as we've been for a couple of years. Things are knocking on my wood head here that things are going pretty well. And then the week before Christmas, it started hitting us pretty hard. So I think it's that staying the course is one part of it. And again, what can we really impact and not? I mean, Katrina, it's a hurricane. All we can do is lock the doors and get the heck out and make sure our people are safe and go back and try to get open as fast as you can. So I think it's that focusing on what I can really impact, and is there a way to impact anything?
Since COVID started kind of in early 2020, has it affected or changed your operations at Pollys Pies at all?
Well, absolutely. Well, I mean, I would think for everyone who's been through this, when in I'd say March, April, May of 20, when you're first 2 months into the something that's never really happened in my business career, you're saying, okay, what do we do? If you recall, really, it was the week, I just happen to remember, because in March, when I had been at California Adventure Disneyland with my wife on a Sunday, and it was that week, I think Wednesday or Thursday, when Disneyland closed, the NBA canceled their season, everything. So we're really busy on March 14th, Pie Day, 3.14. And we also do a great deal of meals on St. Patrick's Day. We do all have corned beef meals. So we were locked and loaded for a huge Pie Day and a huge St. Patrick's in 20. And of course, everything ended. And you didn't know how long it was going to last. So I was thinking, man, well, by fall, we'll surely be back to normal. And but obviously that was very short-sighted. By fall, you're thinking, well, by next spring of 21, we'll surely be back to normal. And so we shrunk our menu. We obviously, when there was no dine-in in California, and you have tons of servers, you can't bring in 6 servers with nothing to do and have them stand. It's harder to manage them. So you had to do a lot of different things. We closed one store because we just didn't have enough people to run it. So yeah, you had to change to adapt to, as I said, as the conditions on the ground changed, we have to change our tactics. In California, when there was a mask mandate, which we posted per OSHA, you need to wear a mask indoors, many guests would not wear masks. And so Eric, our VP of Ops, and myself instructed our managers not to be the mask police. We post a thing on the door. We request that everyone wear a mask. If someone comes in and isn't going to wear one, it's not our job to enforce that, because then you have people screaming at managers, angry, leaving. And I said, look, we're in the business to make people happy. And occasionally you'd have another guest say, well, they're not wearing a mask. And we would say, I'm sorry, we request everyone wear a mask, but we're not here to enforce it. And, you have a couple people walk out and things like that, but we're doing everything we can to make everyone safe. When we closed one of our stores at dinner a week ago or so, we got a complaint on a complaint. I can't believe you were closed tonight. And all I can say is, I don't want to have sick people preparing food for you. I have to do what's not only right legally, I have to do what's right as a person, as a business leader. I'm not going to have sick people work in our restaurant. We have to report to the health department here in California when you have more than 3 people outbreak. I was thinking every restaurant in Southern California, I guarantee everyone's not reporting, not because they're bad people, because they're too busy. They just don't have time to do it. It's been hard for us just to meet compliance requirements legally because there's so many sick people so fast. So it's caused you to have to operate differently.
Does Pollys Pies have any kind of unique goals or plans for 2022?
Well, we're actually changing our complete ERP accounting system and modernizing it. Last year, we put in a different online portal for our online ordering using Olo, one of the largest providers in the online business, which worked very well for us. We've been remodeling a lot of our Pollys Pie stores. We remodeled our Long Beach store and our Hemet store. And then we're also looking, our restaurants now are sit-down restaurants where we have servers come to you. We're looking to develop a smaller footprint concept that has all our baked goods, all our takeout, but you would order at a counter like a quick casual restaurant and still have service, food brought to you. There'd be someone on the floor selling mimosas and, coffees and things like that. But in California with the $15 minimum wage for servers, to see if a quick casual version of Pollys would appeal to our guests. I believe it will. Though some people really like hospitality, they still want to sit down and have a server. Over the last few years, the move to quick casual has been big. When I worked at Veggie Grill, they were really doing well in that space. But there are people who still really want to sit down and have breakfast and have someone bring my meal to me and refill my coffee. So really for us, it's refurbishing a lot of our current restaurants, introducing new items, but also seeing if we can develop a smaller concept. And also we're looking into licensing our pies for manufacture outside of California. And potentially going into grocery stores as well, both in California and outside. So our golden goose is our pies. We offer a really high quality handmade pie. All our pie, double crust pies like an apple and boysenberry are made here in Fullerton, as are a crust at our commissary in Fullerton, California. So everything is to expand. We're a well-known brand here in Southern California, but we still have a lot of we're not well-known in a lot of ways too. So we have a lot of opportunity to grow. So those are really the big things we're looking at.
What meal and pie are your favorites?
There's a couple. I'm just a traditional guy. I love apple pie with a little vanilla ice cream. But we have a couple pies. Our strawberry lemonade pie, which is the lemon of a lemon meringue pie with fresh strawberries over the top with whipped cream, is like a strawberry lemonade. With our pie crust, it's fantastic. One of my favorite meals is also our Salisbury steak, which is just a classic Americana meal that my father happened to love. And I love that. But honestly, our breakfast, there's so many good things. The pancakes are fantastic. I just look at the pancakes and I gain weight. I don't even think I have to eat them anymore. Our omelets, our egg dishes, again, almost anything you get at breakfast. But our giant cinnamon roll is another sort of Pollys Pie signature product. It's an oversized, just gooey, sticky, not a diet roll, but a fantastic tasting. Something you can share with 2 or 3 people too. It's really great.
Well, I am hungry now. How can people find out more information about Pollys?
PollysPies.com. We're here in Southern California, and you can find us everywhere. You can order on DoorDash, Uber. You can go to PollysPies.com and order a pre-order for the future. We're easy to find here in Southern California.
Okay, sounds great. Hey, thank you so much for your time, Jim. It was great to hear from you.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and this is a great service you're offering and putting some really great people in front of people, and I look forward to seeing some podcasts in the future myself.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much, Jim.
Have a great day.
You too. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to the Top Business Leaders Show, powered by Rise 25. Visit rise25.com to check out more episodes of the show and to learn more about how you can start your own podcast.